Hey guys, today we're talking about two new products and a gun. First of all, we have a brand new book out. We have a high-tech biometric safe that I want to show you. And finally, we have this mystery P38. So stick with us. Okay, most of you probably don't know that we have a brand new book out. That's because I just got them yesterday. Now, they are available on Amazon, and they threw me a curveball because we were going to list these at $50 a piece, but they listed them on sale for $45. So we'll match Amazon's price. If you're overseas, please order them through Amazon because the shipping is a lot easier. But if you buy them through our site, we appreciate it. But actually, it doesn't matter where you buy them from. This is our latest book. Now, the history of this book, and by the way, it's obviously about Third Reich P-38s, but it was written by James Gentile. I often mix his name up and say James Gentle, because if you've ever met Jim, he is just a gentle, very kind man. And I have done business with Jim for many, many years, bought guns from him, mostly P-38s. Always honest, always just a very kind man, one of the kindest men you'll meet. If you don't recognize the name, he is at SOS, and if you're like me, I go by a table and I see him, I go, oh, I know that guy. Never knew his name. But this is Jim Gentile. He was selling this for years. This is a little pamphlet. You can check it out. We've had this available on our website, but this little pamphlet he's had for a while, and I used to go by and look it over, and it's just a really good summary, an overview of all the different models. He also has a chart, and I would come home on an airplane and kind of page through it, and I'd say, you know what, it would really help if there were pictures to go with it, because when you hear about the markings and the finishes, it would really help to have the pictures. So of course, Randy, who does excellent photography, for all our other books, he did the photographs. We decided to add the photos. So kudos to Randy. First and foremost, Jim did most of the work. He did all of the writing. Randy did all of the pictures. And I just basically edited it and put it all together. Now, you see this little black stripe? We did this on the Luger book. That's so, well, I told the publisher, most of the people, 90% of the time, they just want to look something up and they want to know a serial number. So I want to look up an AC 41 and I want to see what the serial range is. So this black strip takes you right to the chart. And that's what you're going to use most of the time. You're just going to go right to the chart. How many were made? In other words, what's the rarity? What's the variation? When was it made? All that. So that information is easily accessible with that black strip. So then we took what Jim had already written and we added the pictures. And so the quality of pictures, of course, that shows how it, you talk about the fact that it comes with matching numbered magazines. You want to see an example. What does the font look like? How is it turned? Because we know earlier it was turned a different way. I'm going to find one. Here you go. AC 41 is turned this way, AC 42 was turned this way. So basically, we added the pictures to the book, and it is available now. And of course, some of you say, what about Alex Krutchek's book? Well, we, of course, have been selling this one, highly recommend it. And here's the difference. We will continue to offer this book for sale because our book is just a brief overview. And by the way, Jim and Alex and Legacy, we're all friends. We're all friends. Everybody's friendly. We all work well together. We talked to him at SOS. We talked about the book. He's actually saw a draft copy before it came out. So if you want a deeper dive into P-38s, this is what you want to get. This goes into a lot more detail, a lot more information, great photographs, a great book. But if you just want a quick overview, so for example, the guy who writes descriptions for us, he said, I go to this all the time because all I need to know is what the serial range is and how many were made. And so he just goes to the quick overview and easy to find. But you can also get the same information here, and this is a deeper dive. Okay, the next product is my MagSafe. Now, they just sent me a sample, and we're going to provide a link. If you buy through us as an affiliate, then it'll help support the channel. But I don't care how you buy it. I got to tell you, this safe blows me away. First of all, when they sent it to me and I saw what it could do, I thought this is going to be like $400 or $500, but you're going to be blown away by this safe. Why do you need a safe? I'm a gun collector. I have multiple safes with hundreds of guns. But I also like to have a gun beside my bed. And I don't have grandchildren yet. I don't have children in the house, but with children in the house or if my grandkids were coming over, the gun beside my bed, I would want to keep it in a safe. Let's check out how this works. So I'm a very non-techie person. Every time I get a new phone, I have one of my kids program it for me and put in my passwords because it takes me too long to figure all that out. I know, don't judge. So first of all, one way to open it is the old-fashioned way. You just turn the key and pops it open. Very simple. But if you are trying to keep robbers and other people away from it, you get rid of the key, hide that somewhere, nobody's going to look. It's also programmed from the company. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll do it. Of course, when you get it, you want to change the code. Now that it's out on the internet, all I do is 1, 2, 3, 4, and it opens. But here's the best part. It's vein recognition. It is not fingerprint. What does that matter? I don't know. All I know is it's biometric. And so we'll only open, I just put my finger in the hole, and it pops open. Now, why is that necessary? Well, it's the middle of the night. It's dark. I have a gun beside the bed or under the bed, and I'm fumbling around in the dark. I can't read this. I don't know where I put the key. I hear somebody downstairs. I just put my finger in it, and it pops open. Phenomenal. Now, you can program more than one person, so your wife can get to it, or other people in the house can get to it. But you, again, you want to reprogram this. And I figured this all out. I was watching television, an old classic movie on a Sunday afternoon. It took me about 5 minutes to figure out how to program that. There's an internal button, and you can reprogram it pretty simply. What kind of guns? Just to get the size, I have this P38 that I'm going to talk about, the mystery P38. I can definitely get 2 guns in here, or a wad of cash, or some gold bars, or whatever. But you can kind of see what will fit. I am excited about it because when I go to their website, if you look here, I mean, it's about $200, which we have display cases, wooden display cases that are $300, and it's on sale right now. It's $180. It just blows me away. So I think it's a great product. I think if you have kids in the house, you want to keep a gun beside the bed. By the way, Logan, check it out. Put your finger in there, bud. Red. He's not allowed in. I put my finger in. Vein recognition. Biometric technology. Oh, and a couple other things. It comes, obviously, it comes with instruction, but there's also a video that comes with it. This is a cable that'll attach to something solid like your bed or the ground or a radiator, but it's got a security cable so people can't just walk away with it. I think it's a great product. Go to the link on the website if you want to order one. I highly recommend this. Okay, so now for the mystery gun. I apologize for hawking products, but I'm excited about the book, and as you can tell, I'm really excited about that safe. But check this out. This is a gun that I can't figure out, and I will bet I'm going to forward this to Alex Krutchek, who did the P38 book, and he's in Germany, and I'll have him check this out. I will bet he will tell you, I've never seen anything like it. So, first of all, what we have is, this is my pointer, which people said, you know, you're using an ice pick. It works. I will make sure not to touch the gun. But right here, BYF 44, however, you would think that was Mauser factory in 1944, but I can tell from the proof marks, it was in the factory at the end of the war, and so this only has 2 proof marks. The test proof, which means it was fired, and the Waffen proof accepted for the military. That was before issue, and there should be a 3rd proof right here. There isn't one. So it's just like the AC-45s. This was definitely put together in 1945, probably April. It may have gone out the door, or it may have been in the factory at the end. The French took over the factory. That's not what's so unusual, but if we look at all of the parts, and you may not be able to see them, we can add some photographs if it doesn't come through clearly. Eagle 135. So the very first ones produced, so BYF 42, excuse me, the BYF P38 was started in about mid-1942, and they used the Eagle 135 proof, and they proofed all of the small parts. This small part is proofed right there, Eagle 135. Takedown lever, Eagle 135. This, of course, Eagle 1, that's actually Waffen 135. Eagle 135 here. Not sure if you can see it. We'll try to get the angle. Eagle 135 here. Internal parts, small parts, many of them are Eagle 135. If you collect P-38s, you know that only the very earliest production, 1942, had the marked small parts. So that tells me that this was a bunch of leftover small parts. And by the way, collectors will pay a premium for these small parts, Eagle 135, because if you're looking for a part that's marked, they're very, very hard to find. Notice that the lanyard is missing. I'm sure that was never installed. It didn't break off. But one thing that also stands out is the hammer should be 135 and the trigger should be 135. So if you're looking at this and you're confused and say, that looks distorted, that's because it is. And the trigger looks distorted, that's because it is. And the top plate really looks like Bubba did this in his garage. This top plate will slide off, but I don't want to mess with it. So that top plate is handmade, hammer is handmade, and the trigger is handmade. Just as a quick comparison, here's a BYF 44. You see the hammer here. You can see that it's very different. Look at the top and the side, very different. Now, look at the trigger. Okay, I just dropped the hammer and you can see the triggers. Obviously very different. I can only imagine that this was done by slave labor. For what reason? I have no idea, because I am sure in the factory at the end of the war there were plenty of leftover hammers and triggers and top plates. Let's take a look at the top plate. That's the most obvious. That's, people look at this and say, oh, this gun is just a piece of crap that somebody put together from parts. Well, it's actually a part of history. I think it's very cool. Never seen anything like it. I'm betting Alex has not seen one like it. If you've ever seen anything like this, let me know. If you're wondering about the magazine that came with it is actually a Walther magazine. Not sure if that was added later. Who put this together? I'm sure it was the end of the war. Who made these parts? My guess is slave labor. I do believe that it came home with a vet looking like this. And what's it worth? I think that because it's a novelty, somebody will pay a standard P38. This is a dual tone, so this is all phosphate. As an all phosphate gun, this would command a premium, but your typical BYF 44 is going to be about a $1,400 gun. I think somebody will pay a little bit of a premium, not much of a premium, maybe a couple $100, just because it's a conversation piece. And if, by the way, you have a rec room and you want a conversation piece and leave it in the rec room, make sure you keep it in a safe so that people don't come over and pick it up and shoot it. Just kidding, of course. No, I think it's a conversation piece. It's very unique. I like it. I will be selling it, but I just had to show it to you because I've never seen anything like it before. Oh, let's check the decocker. Aha, there you go. Decocker doesn't work. I'm not surprised at all. By the way, if we look at, some people like to see the white paint. That does look original. Does look like red original. On this one, this is how the decocker should work. Cock the gun, and when you put the safety down, it decocks. So that's how it should work. It doesn't work properly on here, but then again, these parts were handmade. Somebody who is a lot more technical than I am would take it all apart and take a look at every single part. There probably are more internal parts that were handmade. I'm just not as technically savvy, but I will get a guy over here and we'll go through it together and we'll both learn from him. Hey, thanks for watching. A shout out to Jim. Thanks for your hard work, Jim Gentile. Jim Gentili, thanks for your hard work on that book, and I bet you'd like to get your hands on this.